performances in here sometimes.
Yeah, we've had all kinds of people. I can show you the wall afterwards where everyone. Hi, Showbiz Shelly here, hanging out at the Blue Cross Blue Shield performance stage with one of my very, very good friends. This is one of my all-time favorite people to interview, David Archuleta.
Hey,
David, welcome back to B96.
Thank you.
It's been forever.
It has. It's been a long, like 7 years.
I think, yeah, it's been, well, we had an epic interview. I kind of want to start off with this. We had an epic interview. It was back in, I think it was 2008, I want to say. And I brought you a little surprise, actually. I was mentioned in David's book. This is how good the interview was, that David actually mentioned me in his book. A little excerpt, but I was very proud to see this. During the Jingle Bash radio show in B96 in Chicago, there was a funny DJ who kept asking me about my dating life and my love interest. She was so eager to get me talking, so I totally turned it around on her and started asking her about her dating life. It was hilarious. So we'll get to that in a little bit, maybe.
Oh, man.
But David, first of all, you've had so much happening. I mean, it's like you say, 10 or so years have passed. So where do you want to start? Let's maybe first start with the recent stuff. You have a show happening tonight in Chicago. I'm sure a lot of your fans know that already. But talk about this show.
Yeah, I have a show tonight. I think the last time I had a show here was like 9 years ago or 8 years, maybe sometime. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And the fans here have always been supportive. It just never worked out with the routing and things. So I'm glad to be back here finally. It's at the Promontory.
Promontory in Hyde Park?
Yeah, at Hyde Park. And it'll be at 8 o'clock. So if you're in the area, all my Chicago peeps, come to the show tonight. It'll be a lot of fun. Singing some of this new music. I just had a new album come out like a week ago, along with some of the old stuff as well. So, and covers and all that.
Trust me, I knew you were coming because all your fans tweeted me, "David's coming. Are you going to talk to him? Are you going to talk to him?" So I'm glad we made this work.
Yeah.
So, like you say, okay, show tonight. You just had a new album come out. Wasn't it just last week that it came out, or when?
Yeah, it was like 9 days ago or something.
Yeah,
so like
it was not too long. Okay, about a week or so ago.
Yeah.
So, Postcards in the Sky, right?
Yeah.
So, this is a great album.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So, talk a little bit about it and sort of the inspiration.
The inspiration came a lot from just learning how to speak up. I felt like before I always had a hard time speaking up for myself and saying what really was in my heart and in my thoughts. I feel like I was suppressed a lot. I was told a lot of times that, you know what, just kind of shut up and sing, and you don't know any better, you're too young. And I kind of really let people just take advantage of that. And so this is really like saying, I'm finding my voice, and I'm wondering if who else is out there who might be in the same situation, who might need to find their own voice and believe in themselves a little bit and say, yes, I can. Yeah, I can speak up, and it matters what's in me. So I wanted to and it's also about looking up, postcards in the sky, a lot of songs about stars and stuff, and I just want people to look up and connect to something that's bigger than all of us as well. So that's what the album's kind of about.
Amazing. So where did this come from? I mean, when I met you, you were, I think, 15 or 16. You're 26 now? I'm floored. You're 17 when I met you? Okay, so you're 26 now. So where did this transition come from?
Well, the transition came from,
yeah.
Shortly after I last saw you during like the American Idol party thing that we were at, I went like a year after, and I took a break for 2 years from not just music but everything, and I was a missionary. I was a Mormon missionary for my church for 2 years in South America. I was in Chile, and a lot of people were like, "Oh my gosh, what the heck are you doing? You're such an idiot. Do you realize you're in a career where you have to keep the momentum going? You have to keep your face out. If 2 years, like, you can't even afford a month. How are you going to do 2 years?" And saying pretty much like, say goodbye to everything that you've worked for because you're not coming back to anything. And that was really disheartening. But at the same time, it's like, I've always been taught, like my family's always taught me to follow my heart. And the reason why I auditioned for American Idol was because I was following my heart. And so why would I do anything different moving forward? And so it really was like, I need to trust. And it really was like, for me, it was like one-on-one time with just my Father in heaven and me, my father and son time. And it was amazing. It was life-changing because I didn't have Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. No one was following what I was doing. It was all about helping other people and serving them and bringing them to God. And so I came back with this new perspective. And when I came back, I was almost like, do I want to go back into this? Because I feel so filled, and where I was before, it wasn't I don't know how to
as
compare
fulfilling.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so I wrote about it, and Postcards in the Sky is basically like what I've learned from being a missionary and what I learned from the people down there. And I miss them so much. I have like flashbacks, and I'm like hallucinating sometimes, or not hallucinating, but like having dreams.
Uh-huh.
And like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm walking down this dirt road in Chile today, and that person reminds me of this person. It's just being a missionary. I can't explain how life changing it is, because it's so not about you. It's about what you can do for other people. So I wrote a lot about that. It's like, what is the meaning of life? This is kind of
That's
my
amazing
album. What's the meaning
stuff.
of life?
Yeah, that's incredible. So, like you say, you kind of took this step back, and I would imagine, being as young as you are, to have people, I'm sure you had a lot of people saying to you, what are you doing? Like you say, you're going to go away from the music business. And I remember when I read that, I respect you so much. So I thought that was an incredible thing that you were doing.
Oh, thank you.
But I would imagine in this business, that's hard to do. So how did you sort of fight and push through that and say to these people, no, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go on this mission trip?
You know, I actually tried to go right after I made a Christmas album, because a Christmas album, you're talking about Christ and the Savior's birth and like, oh, holy night kind of stuff. And I was like, I need more of this in my life, because it was amazing doing all these shows. I was touring. People were singing along to my song. And I was, sharing like stages with Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, Chris Brown, Rihanna, all these people during like the radio shows. And doing the Christmas tour, I was like, I'm missing something big in my life, and what do I do? And so while I was making my second album, right after, like, second pop album, I actually went to my manager and I said, you know what? I feel like I need to do this. And he basically came back to me and he said, you can't. You are obligated by contract. You can't leave. And I told my record label as well. I probably shouldn't. But I just was trying to explain, because I thought they would get me, because they're like my buddies and we're all like had each other's backs, and they basically said the same thing. You can't do that. And so it took like a year later of me just being like, what? I don't know why, but my heart's saying I need to go. And finally I had an opportunity where I could. And so I went like 2 years after I'd made the decision. But I was so glad I went. It was hard. It was super hard. And I was
Can you tell me more about the trip and exactly what you did? Yeah.
So, like the Mormon, have you ever seen just two little Mormons, like the ties and the name tags? That's what I was doing. I was in South America, though, and we would go, we'd just knock on doors, we'd see how we could help people. We'd paint people's houses. We'd help people put their houses together. Like, we did all kinds of stuff. Help people taking their groceries, garden work. We teach people how to pray. We teach them about Christ. We teach them about their relationship with God and who they were. We worked with people who were addicts, alcoholics, people whose families were broken. We'd work with youth. We'd do all kinds of things and help them try and change their lives. And I mean, music also, you can help people change their lives too. I sang a lot on my mission too. Just not like, I wasn't singing Crush and stuff. I was singing stuff like that would lift people and make them think about God. And they didn't even know who I was most of the time. I mean, sometimes they would, which is kind of like, oh, okay. But I would just say, you know what? I want you to listen to these lyrics. And we'd just be walking on the road and stop someone and say, can I sing a song for you? And they'd be like, okay. But then we'd sing this and they'd just be like, thank you. They're like, I needed to hear that. And I was just like getting this new perspective of what God had given me of music. And it was more than just having 1,000 people or thousands or millions of people watching you. It was that one person going into their home and teaching them of their own worth. Instead of just saying, look how valuable I am, look how popular I am, it was going into their homes and letting them know how special they were. And I can't tell you how much it changed me just seeing other people change. Letting them know that they can change, especially when they were addicts or they did something they're so ashamed of, and they just said, how can I be anybody? How can I be important? Look at what I've done. Look at who I am. And we just go and say, it's not about who you are. It's not about what you've done. It's about what you can become. Look at where you are now, and you can change, and we're here to help you. We're here to help you change. That's our mission. Our mission is to help you become all that you can be and come close to God. And it was just like, there's nothing I can compare to that because I don't know. It's like you can go in an audience too and sing and like let people jump and dance, and it's another excitement. Right. But to let each person know, like that's what I do in my shows now. I'm like, what can I say to help people know that they matter?
Yeah.
You know, I can think about like, look how awesome I am, look how much energy, or I can say, I'm gonna sing this song, we're gonna have a fun time, but make sure you listen to this part because I want you to think about what this means to you because you matter. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know if what people are going through in my show, if they're going through depression or if they're just, their parents are getting divorced or things like that. I just want them to know you can keep hanging in there. You can keep trying. Your life has more than, like a song on my album. It's your story's waiting in the stars. Like keep going, keep hanging in, keep trying. I don't know. It's just,
David, you're amazing. This is all amazing. You're making me emotional just talking to you about it. Because you're right. And I think nowadays, especially with social media, we're constantly comparing our lives to everyone else's. And wait, is what I'm doing good enough? And no, it's not because they're doing something better than me. So it constantly makes us feel like our self-worth maybe isn't all there, right? Because we're constantly doing this comparison thing. So the work you're doing, I think is phenomenal. And the work that you did and that you carry and you're continuing to carry it with you, it's great stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We need more of you around. I love it.
Thanks, Shelly. We need more of you too.
Oh,
you've got that. I talk about in my shows like the people when they have light. You've just got that.
Oh, thank you.
So
do you.
Thank you. Now we're making each other.
Yeah, I know. Look at this, a big love fest here. So wow. Okay, so you take this amazing trip. You have these amazing experiences. You come home, and then it's like you say, "What do you do?" So then it's wow, okay, do I go back to music? Do I continue this work? What do you do?
Yeah, so I got back and I was going into meetings again because I was like, I'm going to show everybody that I didn't just run away from music. A lot of people thought I was giving up and I was afraid of what I was doing. And it wasn't that. It was just I was needing something more. And so when I got back, went into meetings, went to LA, met with like writers and record label people, and just they were telling me, okay, now – oh, that's nice that you did your mission trip. Very nice. Let's get it back to you now and how we can make you big, how we can make your name in the lights and kind of all that stuff. And here's what's going on. This is what you need to do. And I just thought, wait a second. Why am I going back to a place that I felt empty? I feel so filled right now. I feel so enthusiastic for life. And I'm going back to me and how to make me famous and me popular and me special compared to everyone.
I think this idea of serving others, right? That's where you find purpose. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was going into writing songs and stuff, and it was all about, is this catchy enough? Mm-hmm. Is this catchy enough? Or are people, and I just thought I was empty. Why am I going back to this just to prove to everyone something? Just to show everyone like, look, I'm great again. It's like, that didn't fill me last time. Why am I going back? And I actually called my manager and I just said, I don't want to do this. I don't know what's the point. Like, I get it. Like, I want to, like, people want to see me doing well, but what's the point of it? Just looks that way. That it looks like I'm doing well when inside I'm falling again. Mm-hmm. And so I went into writing session like the next day because she was like, I don't understand what you're telling me right now. And she said, what, do you want me to cancel your appointments or what? Like, this is like, I don't know what to.
Right.
And I said, you know what, let's go into the next writing session. They're already planning on it. And I did. Their names were Jamie Kenny and Trent Dabbs in Nashville, actually. And that's where I live. I live in Nashville now. And they said, so what's been on your mind? And I said, well, should I tell them? I don't know if I should. And I said, okay, to be honest, I'm really wondering if I should even be here right now. I don't even know if this is what I want to do. And I just came back from a mission, and it just changed my life. And it was so much about other people. I talked to them about the people I had met and their stories. And I just said, why am I going to come back to this if I feel so numb going back and doing this? I feel like, and they said, why don't we write about that? And I was like, we can write about that? They're like, yeah. And I didn't realize I could write about what I was actually feeling, because before I was always told, well, that doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. No, we need this. You need we need more breakup songs and love songs. That's what you need to be writing about. And I'm like, okay. And I didn't know I could write about what mattered to me until like that moment as a 23, 24-year-old. When
This was just a few years ago.
It was.
Yeah.
It was just a few years ago. So I decided to write about what mattered to me. And that's what this album's about. I mean, I feel like I can still have fun. Like, I have a song that's kind of like my rebellious song, I call it, because it's like all those people told me that I needed to be this, I needed to be that. I couldn't be who I was. It's called Other Things in Sight, and it's kind of like throwback groovy, and I'm just kind of saying, you know what? Give me space to be who I am. This isn't your life. It's not your call to make this time. So, sorry, I feel like I'm talking so much now.
This is great. It's awesome.
But yeah, it's kind of like, you know what? Let's have some fun. Let's groove here. But I'm not mad.
Yeah.
I'm not saying in your face I'm going to throw things at you because I'm mad. I'm just saying this is my life. I'm going to live by what matters most to me, and I'm going to try and live a good life instead of an impressive life kind of a thing.
Yeah, I think too. I'm a big believer. So long as you're living your most authentic life and being your most genuine self, I think only good things can happen, right? As long as you're speaking your truth, which it sounds like you are.
Thank you.
And that you've grown into this amazing person who's continuing to do that now every day, and from all the experiences you've learned and taken with you. Whereas I think a lot of us, we kind of go through those rough periods where we're trying to figure things out, and we always are on a daily basis, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that you've made it to this point and you're still doing so well in this business doing it, I think speaks volumes. It's huge. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, okay, so we covered the show, we covered the album, we covered the mission trip. What else? Anything else am I missing?
Listen, man, all I'm wondering is, like, I'm not wondering about you.
What do you want to know about
truth?
me?
What's your truth?
Oh,
Kelly?
we can do another interview another day, maybe. But okay. So first of all, do your lips still get chapped all the time? Because everyone was asking me.
Time.
Still.
Oh my gosh.
You still have the chapped lips.
I do. I should have brought. I keep losing my chapsticks.
And this was the problem last time, and I didn't bring any chapstick this time.
Dang.
Unfortunately, I know, because I had the gift for you last time of chapstick, but I wasn't thinking today. So, okay, because a lot of people were asking me about that.
All the time.
Now, people, it sounds like maybe this stuff's kind of taking a back seat, but like relationship stuff, anything in that arena we can talk about?
I don't know if we could talk about it, right? I mean, it's I don't know if that's something to talk about right now. I'm trying to keep it a little down low,
down low. Can you? Are you single?
How about you? How are you doing?
He's flipping it back on me. This is what we do.
Yeah.
I'm single right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Single right now.
I'm a single ladies.
That's right.
Y'all, Shelly's single. Look, she's beautiful. She looks great in her Lady in Red.
I need you to walk around with me in Chicago, just singing for me. Yeah,
there
that
you
should
go.
help me.
Because I'm sure guys would love that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, like you say, Postcards in the Sky, out now. Show tonight, Promontory in Hyde Park. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I forgot. I mean, I know you're. I would love to try and come. Okay.
I know, but you got morning. I know the morning.
That's the
radio
problem.
folks
Is the morning radio shift isn't ideal for concerts.
Yeah.
But I would like to try and make it there.
I'd love to have you.
Okay.
It'd be great to have you.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I mean, anything else you want to say to your fans? Because I know that they're all tuning in and they're very excited for this.
Hello. It's hello everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's fun to have y'all come. Shelly, she's like awesome. So I'm so glad you had me come.
I'm so glad this worked out.
Yeah. And it's fun. Just it brings back memories, and it's I'm trying to think. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being there. Thanks for being supportive through all these years. Even when I took my break, I went through my little who am I? What do I really want to do phase? It took me 3 years, even after I got back from my mission. It took me 3 years to get this album out. And the fact that people are still willing to come to my shows, that they waited, that they're buying the music and listening, it's so meaningful. It means more than ever, because I feel like this is my music. I struggle to write about what was in me. So thank you for enjoying it. It's just nice to know people still like it, and that they want to listen, and that they're looking forward to more.
By the way, American Idol's coming back. What do you think?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, because we went at a year and a half ago or so for the finale. Everybody was there. We were saying bye. This is the farewell.
It was so emotional. Yeah.
And seeing everybody and all the memories, and now it's it's back again.
Yeah.
It just was. It was surprising, but I think it'll, it was a huge opportunity for me. That's for sure. I don't know what's going to be different with this. I saw that they had like Lionel Richie,
Yep.
Katy Perry,
Yep.
and Luke Bryan
Mm-hmm.
as the new judges. I thought that was interesting, but I don't know what it has entailed, but I know it's a huge opportunity that it was for me. Otherwise, I would have never met you.
This is true.
I
We
would
would
have
have
never
never
been
met.
here in Chicago doing show. I wouldn't have done Postcards in the Sky had it not been. American Idol was part of my journey. It was hard.
Mm-hmm.
American Idol was really. I think it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Really?
And a lot of people said your mission's going to be hard. I think American Idol was the hardest thing because
Just the auditioning,
the whole experience,
Yeah.
because there's so much pressure. It was a lot emotionally. I think every single person on my season had a nervous breakdown at one point or another because it was hard.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think, oh, you're just on TV once a week. There's so much more going on. It was seriously boot camp, but it prepared me. It made me ready to take on whatever. So because on American Idol, I was like, I'm not good enough to be on this show. What am I doing here? And it made me push. It made me just keep pushing, and you'll survive somehow. There's seriously some weeks where I was like, I just want to run away.
Uh-huh.
Like I just want to leave. I want to go hide under a rock. I'm done with this. But I got through it. I made it, and I'm a better person from it.
And here we are. Well, I think, like you say, you're amazing, and
Oh, thanks, Shelly.
you are. You're one of my
Thanks.
favorite interviews, I think, of all time.
Oh,
ever.
Thank you.
Yes. So next time you come through Chicago, we'll have to chat again.
Yeah.
I know your fans will be there, but we'll wrap this up because I know I've kept you for a little bit, and you probably have to run
I
and
was the
prepare
one
for your
talking,
show.
so yeah.
We loved it. We loved
No,
it. But
Thanks, Shelly.
say goodbye.
So long, farewell.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, Shelly. Oh, thanks, Shelly. You're
No,
so
thank
sweet.
you. You're so